Yes, yes. The grasslands up above Beaver's Dam. I remember them well. I have relatives who live there.
As do I. Wouldn't it be remarkable if we were distantly related? Second cousins, perhaps?
I wouldn't be a bit surprised. Oh, to see Narnia again.
So you were captured as a foe?
Yes, so long ago.
Boy, you not have any of our food?
My name is Shasta, and no thank you I won't.
Suit yourself.
And now, Tarkina, you have heard our story. It's time for us to hear yours. Who are you, and why are you running away?
My name is Aravis Tarkina, and I am the only daughter of Kidrash Tarkaan, the son of Rishti Tarkaan, the son of Ardib Tisroc, who was descended in a right line from the god Tash. My father is the lord of the province of Calaver, and is one who has the right of standing on his feet in his shoes before the face of Tisroc himself. May he live forever.
We don't have to say that anymore.
Say what?
May he live forever.
Never mind, young one. Continue.
My mother, on whom be the peace of the gods, is dead, and my father has married another woman. Now it came to pass that my stepmother hated me and persuaded my father to promise me in marriage to Ahoshta Tarkaan. Now this Ahoshta is of base birth and is at least 60 years old and has a hump on his back, and his face resembles that of an old ape. Nevertheless, through flattery and evil counsels, he has won the favour of the Tisroc, may he live forever, and may one day be chosen as the Grand Vizier. For these reasons, my father agreed with my stepmother and sent word to the Ahoshta that we could wed this very year at the time of high summer.
I don't understand. You're not a grown-up. I don't believe you're any older than I am. How could you be getting married at your age?
Shasta, don't display your ignorance. They're always married at that age in the great Tarkaan families. Now, Tarkina, please continue your story.
When this news was brought to me, I laid myself on my bed and wept for a day. On the second day, I rose up and washed my face, and caused my mare Hwin to be saddled. I took with me a sharp dagger, and rode out alone to a green, open place. I dismounted from Hwin, my mare, and took out the dagger. I then shut my eyes and my teeth, and prepared to drive the dagger into my heart. But before I had done so, this mare spoke with the voice of one of the daughters of men, and said, "Oh, my mistress, do not by any means destroy yourself, for if you live you may yet have good fortune, but all the dead are dead alike."
I didn't say it half so well as that.
She then told me about Narnia to such a degree that I had a great wish to be in that great country.
In Narnia, no maiden is forced to marry against her will, of course.
Of course.
And when we had talked together, I rejoiced that I had not killed myself. Moreover, it was agreed between Hwin and me that we should steal ourselves away together, and we concocted an elaborate plan to do so.
What was your plan?
I returned to my father's house and pretended to be happy about my marriage to Ahoshta. I then asked my father's permission to go with one of my maidens alone for 3 days into the woods to do the customary secret sacrifices to Zardina, Lady of the Night and of Maidens, in preparation of marriage. He granted his permission. I then went immediately to the oldest of his slaves, his secretary, who had bounced me on his knee when I was a baby and loved me more than the air and the light. I swore him to be secret and begged him to write a certain letter for me. He wept and implored me to change my resolution, but in the end he did as I asked.
What was in the letter?
If you'll be quiet, I'll tell you in due time. Then I called the maid, who was to go with me to the woods and perform the rites of Zardina, and told her to wake me very early in the morning. And I became merry with her and gave her wine to drink. But I had mixed such things in her cup that I knew she must sleep for a night and a day. Then, as soon as the household of my father had committed themselves to sleep, I arose and put on an armour of my brother's. I put into my girdle all the money I had and certain choice jewels, and provided myself also with food, and saddled the mare and rode away in the second watch of the night. I directed my course north and east to Tashban.
I see now. Your father and his household thought you would be sacrificing in the woods for 3 days, so no one would realize you were missing and search for you.
Precisely.
And what happened to the girl? The one you had drugged?
Doubtless she was beaten for sleeping late. But she was a spy of my stepmother's. I am very glad they should beat her.
That's hardly fair.
I did not do any of these things for the sake of pleasing you.
Continue with your story.
On the 4th day we arrived at the city of Azim Boldar, which stands at the meeting of many roads. From it the letters of the Tisroc, may he live forever, are taken by messengers on swift horses to every part of the empire. I therefore posted a letter to my father, the same letter which I'd had my father's secretary secretly compose, a letter which feigned to be written by a Hoshta.
Another ruse.
In the letter, a Hoshta explains to my father how on his journey to Calabar for our wedding, he discovered me in the forest performing the rites and sacrifices to Zardina. Being delighted with my beauty and discretion, he became inflamed with love and decided to marry me at once. The letter then bids my father to go immediately to the house of a Hoshta to celebrate and to pay my dowry.
How very clever. Once your father received the letter, he would send messages to our Hoshta or go to him himself.
Whereupon, before the matter could be discovered, I should be beyond Tashban. And that is the pith of my story.
A remarkable story.
Yes, remarkable.
Tell me, great warhorse, you have lived a long time in Kalorman and are well acquainted with the Tarkaans and their battles.
True.
Then you would know a great many of the same people and places that I know.
It is likely.
Which battles?
Oh, too many to remember. Tebeth, Zulindra.
If you're at Zulindra, you would have seen my cousin Alimash.
Oh, yes, the captain of the chariots. He is a worthy nobleman.
If we're going to continue our journey tomorrow, hadn't we better turn in?
Yes, a sensible idea.
Yes.
Alimash now lives by the lake at Mazril. Do you know it?
I was there only last summer. What a delightful place it is.
Oh, those gardens.
And the Valley of the Thousand Perfumes.
Well, I'm turning in.
If you know Mazril, then perhaps you know Lazaraline Tarkina.
She's a close friend of my family.